set our intention, we are going to have a mindfulness practice to begin, mindfulness of sound. We will do a practice in the chair that's about 25-30 minutes or so, and it will be all accessible. So there will be opportunities for everybody to participate. And then we'll just close with the simple gratitude practice that I typically close with, which it sounds like we started with, so that's nice. And just thinking about our intention for this space and what I'm inviting you to think about as we practice together. I've been reflecting a lot. I mean, it's the last week of the school year. It's 2020 in general. I've been reflecting on it, as I'm sure you have. Really focusing on all the struggles that we've been faced with and that we have also overcome. Thinking of my school communities, just all of the anxiety that's there around not knowing, around lack of control, and then all the loss. So unfortunately, all the loss that I've experienced from my schools, loss of loved ones, but also loss of our old life and loss over the way things have been done. So it's from this loss that we're able to grow, actually, right? And from this space that we can be resilient and that we can demonstrate our strength and grow our strength. And fortunately, yoga and mindfulness give us a space in which we have some freedom to change maybe our behavior and maybe not just respond and react, but to really change our mindset and change our lives ultimately. So as we practice today, I invite you to think about maybe how you process or think about uncertainty, and just kind of go with the process today and see what may unfold. So to begin, I'm gonna move back to my chair. I was sitting on a little stool. But we're just going to take our seat. So I'm sure that you guys have been diving into this. Taking a seat is something that we do a lot lately. We sit in meetings all day. We sit, right? Maybe even more than before. Taking our seats in yoga is a bit different, okay? So we're gonna be sitting with intention, sitting with purpose, versus the way I usually sit, which is just kind of whatever, laying back, letting the chair hold me. So to find that seat, that intentional, mindful seat, we may have to come a bit closer in the chair. I'm a little short here, so I need to come to the front so that my feet can plant evenly and plant firmly into the ground. Maybe inhale together through the nose. Letting go through the mouth allows your shoulders to soften down just a little bit, because we don't want to be soldiers here and uncomfortable. When we're tight like this, we can't breathe. So we want to inhale again, exhale to release. Now as we release and as we soften, we can feel connected to the ground. You can feel all four corners of the feet pressing evenly into the ground beneath you, supporting you and holding you. You can feel connected to your seat. So all the bones in the bottom of your body are connecting and are allowing you to sit up with intention. And then you're allowing a long spine so that your breath can travel like an elevator up all the way through where you're seated, through the crown of your head. So you're feeling an expansiveness there that allows your breath to travel freely. Your hands can rest on your knees or your lap. Your eyes can close if that's comfortable and safe for you. Or you can soften your gaze. But closing the eyes or softening the gaze can allow you to come inside more easily. Just taking a moment to notice your breath and your breathing, without trying to change anything or judge anything. Your breath is perfectly designed to sustain and to nourish you. So every inhale is beautifully balanced, perfectly balanced to every exhale. So there's no need to force or change anything. You can have your hands on your belly if that's comfortable for you, or your chest, or both. And as you breathe naturally, just take notice of what's happening as you inhale. As we inhale, we notice our belly rises, our chest rises. And as we exhale, our belly will fall and our chest will fall a bit too. Inhaling to feel the rise, exhaling to feel the fall. Noticing the breath as if it's an ocean wave, simply rising and falling without any effort. And although it's a simple ask, you may notice as you're focusing on your breathing, your mind is distracted, and that's totally normal and totally human. And a big part of mindfulness is just the practice of coming back. So if you find yourself kind of tied into thinking about what you have to do, or maybe what you didn't do, something from the past or the future. If you find yourself tied to that, simply bring yourself back to your breath and your breathing. No judgment. Just guide yourself back as if you might guide a child who's easily distracted. Your hands can rest now on your lap. We're going to open our focus and our attention to the sounds around us. So gently loosening that awareness of the breath, we're going to widen our awareness and open up our ears to the sounds around you. So you may hear sounds in your house, where you are in your apartment. Maybe your loved ones nearby, the sounds of people moving about, talking. Maybe you hear some outside sounds, neighbors chatting, birds chirping, babies laughing, babies crying, maybe even a siren or a car. Whatever you can hear in that soundtrack around you, see if you can cast a wide net around all of these sounds so that you're experiencing all of them together, and not any one of them is more important than the other one. So you want to hear each sound as the whole song and not just as a note. And you're simply sitting back and you're simply noticing this arrangement and this wide array of sounds, maybe even just internally the sounds that you hear if it's very quiet. And as we focus on sound, our mind is easily distracted sometimes too. The mind likes to tell stories about what it doesn't know. So in this storytelling, you may notice yourself giving people names, giving things importance over another. And if that's happening to you, just gently pull yourself back and come back to your breath and come back to your body. Come back to the feeling of your feet on the floor and your seat in the chair. And when you're ready, we're going to widen back out, and we'll just spend a couple of breaths here, noticing the sounds around us, tuning into what's going on, and coming back to our breath when we need to. bring our attention softly back to our breathing, moving away from the sounds. Hands can come to your belly and your chest or your heart if it feels good. We'll just inhale a couple of deep breaths together to close our mindfulness. So we'll breathe in through the nose, breathe out through the mouth, sighing it out, letting it go. Breathing in again, deeply and completely. Breathing it out. One last full and complete breath. Breathing out through the mouth. You can wiggle your fingers, wiggle your toes. You can open your eyes. You can stretch in a way that feels good or feels welcome right now. It's hard to sit in a chair all day, although our day has kind of just begun. And we'll now dive into the yoga portion of our class. So we're going to be using our breath and our movements together. So again, taking that mindful seat, that mindful spine, we'll just begin with some simple sun breaths. So arms down to our sides, we'll inhale them up, nice and slowly. Overhead, hands, palms can come together. On the exhale, arms sweep back down slowly. So being mindful to match the breath and the movements, inhaling arms up overhead. And exhaling arms back down. Being mindful that you're following your breath and not necessarily mine, which may mean you're moving slower or faster, and that's okay, it's your practice. Take one more full, complete sun breath just to start moving and opening up and waking up the body. And exhaling those arms back down. Now we're going to move our spine to help warm us up for more movements into a side bend, or when I work with kids, I call it a rainbow breath, rainbow move. So to do this, we'll stretch out our fingers wide, open up our hands a bit, feel that expansiveness. We spend a lot of time texting and typing, so we need to stretch our fingers out, give them a break. We're going to inhale. The left hand can come, the chair is great as a prop, it can help us here. You can hold on to the edge, or your hand can be on your thigh. On the inhale, the right arm sweeps up with a tall spine, and then we're going to arc over, feeling a side bend in your body. Should feel good, so not pushing yourself to any point of pain, just a gentle, good feeling. And you can look up, or you can gaze down. And we'll just stay here for a breath. Inhaling to come up. On the exhale, the right arm will come back down to this side, and we'll reach over, bend over to the opposite side, which may feel completely different. So experimenting with our gaze, and taking a breath wherever you want to land. So we're just going to flow back and forth for a couple breaths. So inhaling up, arcing over to our left. And again, moving as fast or slowly as you want to in this moment. Staying true to you. And one more time to each side, wherever we are. Inhale over to the left. Exhale to our last side, bending over to the right. Inhaling both arms up overhead. We'll release them down. Just taking a moment to pause in between, taking a deep breath through the nose, out of the mouth. Maybe feeling a little warmness in the body, feeling our body start to warm and waken up. We're going to twist our spine next to start another warm up here. So from this mindful spine, where we start most of our postures, we're going to inhale up tall. And on the exhale, we're going to take our right palm and we're going to twist. So it'll come to our knee or thigh. We can also use our hand on the back of the chair if it's accessible, and we're going to look over our left shoulder or in that direction. So pausing here for a breath. Maybe on your exhale you twist a little bit more, or maybe you stay where you're at. Inhaling back to center, Exhaling, we'll take the other side. So left hand over to either your knee or your thigh, and looking over that right shoulder for a breath. Inhaling to center, we'll take our twist again and notice if anything changes. Notice the sensations. So twisting over the left side. Coming back to center, and one more time over the right. Twists are really good for our organs, for our digestion. It's like an internal massage for our organs, so a great thing to do in the morning to get us ready for our day. Inhaling up overhead, and then we will let those arms gently float down. Now moving in, we also have to wake up our feet and our legs a little bit. So from this seat, we're going to first lift our left foot. You can kind of see mine. And you can hold your foot, you can come up a tiny bit, doesn't matter. We're just going to point our toes on the inhale, flex on the exhale. So pointing and flexing, just opening up and feeling the foot. Our feet do a lot for us, and we really take them for granted. They really literally carry us through our day. So taking this time to give them some attention. And just inhaling to point and exhaling to flex. Very simple. And this can even be done if the leg is on the floor easily. Now we'll just take our leg and I'm going to hold my foot a bit, and we are going to do some little circles, so moving in one direction. If you hear some cracks, I know my ankle cracks or pops, it's totally okay as long as it doesn't hurt. It's pretty normal for most of us. So moving in one direction, then we're going to switch the direction, so go on the opposite side. Now we're going to lift that knee. So we're going to bend our knee. We may stop right here, and that's totally okay. We're going to take our fingers, clasp our palms, and bring that knee into the chest. If you want to bring it in and sit back in your chair a bit, you can bring it up to the chair, or you can bring it down here. Wherever you are, tall, mindful spine. Inhaling to sit up tall, breathe in. And on the exhale, we're going to round gently forward towards our knee. Rounding over. Maybe forehead reaches the knee, maybe it doesn't. Just gently feeling a stretch and an opening in the back of our body. Staying here for a breath. Inhale and exhale. We're slowly going to come back up. You can use your hands if you want to extend your foot. Take a big breath here. I'm holding underneath to support it. And exhale our foot down to its neighbor. Going to pause for a moment just to notice maybe the difference in the sides of our body, if there's anything to notice. And we're going to start with the right foot. So we're going to lift it up, and same thing over here. Again, it might be different on this side. So inhaling to point, exhaling to flex, inhaling to point, exhaling flex. Just waking up this side of your body and this foot. Getting us ready for some bigger movements soon. Taking some circles with this ankle. This one's very cracky. Very noisy foot over here. Taking some slow, gentle circles. And then circling to the other side. Now we're going to hug in that knee, so taking our fingers, clasping around. It can be right here. I'm going to bring mine in because I need a deep stretch this morning. Sitting up tall on the inhale. On the exhale, we're going to round forward and just release here for a breath. Feeling your breath opening up the back of your body and letting go. Inhaling to slowly come up. And on the exhale, stretch it out if it feels good. Inhale, exhale, slowly bring that leg back down. I'm going to take one more seated warm-up here for our hips, and this is a seated pigeon. So hopefully that leg warm-up gave us a little bit of preparation. So on the inhale, there's a couple ways to achieve this. We're gonna lift that left leg up in the same way we just did. You can either cross at your ankles right in front of you, which is great, as long as you're feeling a stretch. I'm gonna bring mine up a bit, so I'm gonna cross it over on top of the thigh, not on the knee, because I don't wanna hurt my knee. Knees are really sensitive. They also do a lot for us. So we're creating like a figure 4, either at the ankle or perhaps on your lap. Wherever it is, you're gonna take that left palm and you're gonna gently press in a little bit so that your spine elongates here and that you can feel a gentle stretch in your hip. So this is a variation of a pose called pigeon, which is a hip opening pose. But you can get the same great benefits of this pose in a chair as you would as performing it or practicing it on the floor. So from here, we'll just inhale our tall spine. On the exhale, we'll slowly round forward, hinging at our hips until we're eventually going to round. Taking here a breath. Inhaling to slowly come back up, nice and slow. And then with a lot of love, we're gonna bring that leg back down to the other. Feet are parallel. And now we go to the other side here. So we're going to extend the right foot on the inhale. And then here may be different. So figuring out where your position is going to be. Crossing either at the ankle or on top of the thigh. This is a much tighter hip for me, so it's probably normal based on how we walk to have one side tighter than the other. We're gonna inhale up and you're gonna gently press using that right palm, press into the thigh very gently. You don't wanna feel pain, you just wanna feel a stretch. Inhaling up, and on the exhale, we'll slowly hinge forward until we have to round. And we'll release and relax back. Taking a deep breath here, letting it all go. Inhaling, we'll slowly come up. And we'll slowly help guide that foot back down. Taking a moment to find our seat again, maybe reconnect to the grounding feeling that we feel with our feet or our seat in the chair. And our final warm-up before our standing postures will be cat and cow. It's one of my favorite spinal warm-ups that I do every day, even if I do nothing else. You can do it in meetings too, which is great. I'm gonna go on the side just so you can see me better, but on the inhale, we're gonna reach our gaze and our heart forward. Hands can stay on your thighs. And on the exhale, we're gonna round our back, belly up and in. So moving really slowly with your breath. We'll continue that flow, so inhaling, gaze and heart forward. Exhaling, rounding, belly up and in. And just taking that in your own breath for a few, maybe 3 complete breaths here. Finding a rhythm that's true to you. So that might mean you want to move in a circle. And it might mean you want to stop in one spot that feels good. Just being mindful to pair those feelings with the inhale and the exhale. So reaching and shining forward, feeling openness, and then exhaling to feel that closed feeling, to feel the rounding. Wherever you are, one more breath, one more inhale and exhale. And coming back to our seat, we're going to begin a warrior pose. So a warrior pose is a wonderful one to cultivate our strength, all the strength that we have demonstrated and that we continue to, and it's a way to honor our strength. So from the chair, it's also a great way to support yourself to do it. So to do it, we're going to swing our legs over to the left side. You can see my fabulous Frida Kahlo pants. We're going to go over to the left side. Toes are going to be pointing towards the wall in front of you. So the feet are parallel. They're like the number 11. And what you're going to do here, there's a couple of options. So we're going to plant firmly first that left foot. So feeling all four corners of the foot open and support you and expand in the ground. And then we're going to exhale. We're slowly going to bring the right leg around. So perhaps your toes stay pointing to the forward wall. And you're creating a right angle with your body. This may be your warrior 2 today, and this is great. But if you wish, you can continue that feeling. So planting that foot, you might have to move your body a bit. You'll extend the back leg, activate it behind you so that it's straight, and then your toes are going to point in and pivot like at a 45-degree angle. So you're feeling both that active back leg and that front foot pressing firmly in. You feel your core active and strong. You have the support of the chair, but you're really feeling evenly rooted. And as all four sides of your abdomen are feeling strong and also engaged here. So inhaling, arms can come up to your sides. Warrior 2. You can look back, see if your arms are even. You don't want one up here. You want them to be pretty even. Finding that posture, you're going to gaze over your left hands. Take a deep breath here. It's a very powerful and strong pose. Inhale. On the exhale, we'll slide the right hand down the leg and sweep the front arm back, finding a peaceful warrior, gazing up at that palm. Inhaling to slowly come up, warrior 2. So flowing with our breath. On the exhale, we'll tip back, peaceful warrior. One last time, we'll inhale to our warrior 2 pose. And exhale, we'll tip back. Inhaling to come up. Slowly we'll bring that leg wherever it is. We'll bring both legs back to center. We're just going to take a moment to pause in a seated mountain pose. Maybe close the eyes and just feel what there is to feel. Perhaps after one pose fades away, if there's any sensations left. We're going to switch over to our opposite side here, so we're not unbalanced. So swinging over to the right. We'll find that same anchoring, so pressing in that right foot to feel very grounded and supported, and then seeing where you're at. If you're here, wonderful, right? You may even be here, so you may be in between. Wherever you are, taking that seat, I have to move my body back a little bit on the chair, and extending the back leg, pivoting in the toes, so that again, you're feeling the press of the front foot engaged, the back body, and then you're feeling the abdomen, the core holding you strong. Inhaling, arms to the side here. Warrior 2. So we can all do really hard things, and we've shown that. So we'll breathe into what can be a challenging posture. We'll breathe in with grace, celebrating our strength here. Exhale, we'll slide the back arm back, and then we'll tip backward, gazing up, peaceful warrior. Feeling a nice stretch in the side of our body. Inhaling slowly to come up, warrior 2. And exhaling to dip back. Being true to your own breath and your own body, moving here at your own pace. And one last time, we'll tip into peaceful warrior. And exhaling to release. Warrior 2. Releasing the arms down and then gently bringing those legs and your feet back together. Again, taking a moment to pause. Taking a moment to tune in to what's going on inside. Breathing in and breathing out. From here, we'll open the eyes if they were closed. Gonna sit up with that tall, mindful spine again. And on the inhale, we're slowly gonna reach the arms up overhead. And on our exhale, we'll slowly hinge forward, very slowly, until we have to round, right? So we're hinging, rounding, maybe we stop here. Hands can be supported on the thighs, the shins, the feet, or the floor. Body can rest in between the legs. You can shake your head yes, shake your head no. Relax your neck and take a big breath here. Let it go. Inhaling again. Exhaling out of the mouth and letting it all go. Feeling an openness in the back of your body, feeling a big, big letting go breath. Let's take one last one. Inhaling in through the nose. Exhaling to release. We're going to slowly start to come up, very slowly. Hands can support you on the journey up. Inhaling, maybe arms sweep up one more time. And exhaling them back down to your sides. One of the most important things in a yoga practice, even if it's in a chair or wherever it may be, is relaxation. So an opportunity to sit with the sensations that may have arose and seal our practice and all the benefits. In a chair, it's easy to do. We're gonna sit like I usually sit. So we're gonna relax into the chair. So it's very opposite of intentionally sitting. We're gonna let the chair hold us. And we're going to relax and release into the chair. So you can feel your back being supported by the spine. Maybe your arms stay on your lap, maybe they drop down. You can close the eyes for a minute and you're just going to breathe in really fully. Feel your shoulders come up on the inhale and the exhale. Let it go. If you're like me, your shoulders get up by your ears often. That comes with stress. And breathe in again. Let it go. And you'll feel in that letting go breath, perhaps the features of your face relax. Feel them soften. Your jaw, the area around your eyes. Your tongue relaxes. Feeling with every breath you can release and you can relax a little bit more. So starting at that top of your head with your face, breathing in along the body, breathing in and letting go. Moving to our arms and our torso and our chest. Breathing in and letting go to release and relax. Moving down to our stomach, our organs, the inside of our body. Breathing in, releasing down this journey. Noticing if there's any place or sensation you experience along this way that you'd rather avoid or maybe stick with. This is your journey, so feel free to skip a part or feel free to linger somewhere. Moving down to the hips and the thighs. Every wave of breath allows you to relax and release a bit more. Moving down the legs. Finally landing at our feet in contact with the ground. Releasing, letting us fully relax. And we'll stay here relaxed for a few breaths. trying to stay with the present moment. And gently start to deepen your breath just a little bit. You can feel your fingers and your toes wiggle. And start to come up and stretch if you wish. You can open your eyes. We're going to end our class with a simple gratitude practice. So from our mindful seat again, so that we can really have our breath flow freely here. Maybe coming to the front of your chair, since we were sinking in, rooting in your feet, elongating the spine, relaxing our shoulders. We'll close the eyes. Hands can come to heart if that's comfortable for you. And just bring to your attention right now somebody that you really love, somebody that has been there for you and that has shown you great love. It can be a child, family member, a pet. Perhaps you're just showing love to yourself right now, and that can be a very hard thing to do and a very brave thing to do. So whoever that person is, hold them into your attention. And imagine that we could give them one of the benefits we may have felt today. So maybe you felt a feeling of calmness, maybe peace, maybe some love for something that has happened or some compassion. Maybe you felt a bit of energy. Whatever you may have felt that you want to share with this person that you feel like could benefit them. We're going to breathe it in deeply and let it go through the mouth. On that release, we send it out to them as a gift, breathing it in one more time to ourselves, letting it go, breathing it out. We send it to them as a gift into the world around us. Hands can come back down to your thighs or your lap. You can gently open the eyes if they were closed. And that brings us to the end of our practice, and I feel really fortunate to have practiced with you today. I hope you take a little bit of time out of your day, especially as we move into the summertime, just for self-care, because we all need it, and you especially in your roles really need it to be able to take care of the many complex needs of all of our families. So take some time for you, feel good about that, so that you can help others. And thank you, I really appreciate it.